Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in.
Agents, there is a gold mine hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Dan, you know what that big opportunity for agents is?
I do.
It is distressed
it's increasing.
property leads.
It's increasing too.
Yeah.
The number of distressed leads is increasing for sure.
Oh,
Get
man.
in now.
Why is it increasing?
Man, I mean, why not?
Right,
But, obviously since COVID, you've seen a lot of people get themselves into more credit card debt. Like debt is higher now than it's ever been in the country. Inflation has put a lot of pressure on people and homeowners especially.
Yep.
Cost of all these things has gone up. The cost of living has gone up a ton. Wages haven't gone at the same rate. So we just all have less money. Everybody does. Like we're all just kind of dealing with the same thing. But it depends how tight you were running ahead of that. Did you have a lot of nest egg or did you, not? And so I think there's a lot of financial stress on people. And then you couple that with like the most recent developments, going on in the stock market.
Yep. Layoffs.
More and more, right? So it's like financial distress is real.
Yep.
It doesn't show up in physical. Like, remember the days of like with the foreclosure auctions in 2006, 7, and 8. You could drive by and see a property physically and go, that house is underwater. They have a problem because it looked abandoned or they're letting the weeds grow or whatever. Like financial stress doesn't look like that.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't have a face.
Nope.
It's
And
probably
people they don't want to just proactively tell you that they're dealing with issues as well. Right.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
It's not a fun place to live. So, we're also seeing more foreclosures and pre-foreclosures. So when COVID hit, the government put a moratorium on foreclosures. That's all expiring. So, someone told me the other day that there was in the neighborhood of like 300,000 properties that should have been foreclosed on or should be foreclosed on that haven't yet as a result of prior legislation. And now when that lifts, all of those properties are going to go to foreclosure.
Oh.
And so you could see a significant. Now, banks are trying to figure out ways to work around a lot of this. So it all doesn't happen at once because that doesn't help them either. But, they are they're going back to normal foreclosure processes, pre-pandemic foreclosure processes. Yeah. So if you don't pay your bills, you're going to get foreclosed on, that's the world we're going to. For the last few years, it hasn't been that way. There's been all these programs to help people out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now agents, you actually can get more listings. But, my favorite part is you can actually help people by just proactively picking up the phone. Because to your point, this financial pressure is definitely mounting on folks for various things. The interest rates are up. A lot of job losses happening that we're seeing. Inflation goes up. Foreclosures goes up. By the way, people can't afford to do repairs anymore.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that are actually playing into the real estate's favor, but you can also help.
Yeah. Yeah, the other one would be like, tired landlords, people that are, they have a vacant rental now because the property just hasn't rented. Rent prices have been increasing over time. They listed it at a price. Maybe they refinanced the property thinking, oh, it's going up. And then all of a sudden it doesn't go up anymore. And now you're stuck with an overpriced rental property. You can't get occupied.
Yep.
You got to sell it. That's the way out of it. So you got to remove that thing. And so you got a lot of people doing that. And then like you said, with the repairs, people are just, I don't know. I mean, everything. My wife just bought a new refrigerator for one of our properties. And so I saw that Amex bill this morning. I was shocked. I was like, what?
What were you shocked at? How much the refrigerator cost?
Yes. Why? Why is it that much? I mean, a refrigerator, it used to buy a whole set for what we had to pay for this refrigerator. It's terrible. Terrible.
So That's funny.
Yeah.
So the best leads, obviously agents listening, I hear you. I got to go find these distress leads. I got to get this data. They're not on the MLS, by the way.
No.
They're hiding in data. So
Yeah.
how do we find that? How can agents use and find these distressed properties?
Yeah, I think like the first place I would tell them, like try to find a free resource first. And that free resource exists a lot of times with like their title partners. So the title partner can help them, source some of this data. But there are other companies out there that provide distressed property leads. So go and Google it, but reach out to your title partner first. If they can't help you, then you'll definitely be able to find it elsewhere. If you can't find it anywhere, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll point you to places
That's
to do
good
that.
call.
I just don't want to give you like company names right out of the gate to say, oh, this one and this one, and this
I like
one.
that. I like that.
No one's paid us for sponsorship, so
Oh,
I'm
not
not
yet.
doing that yet. So when they pay their bill for sponsorship, then we'll put them on here.
Yeah, I like that.
But the cool thing about these data providers is that they're going to provide you the list of all these people. So if you went in there and you were like, okay, I want all the vacant properties in this particular zip code, you're going to get a list of all the vacant properties in that zip code. And then you just decide how you want to market to them. So send them an email, send them a postcard, send them a letter, drop them a phone call, send them a text, all of those things. You just got to figure out your marketing campaign. It can't just be one touch. I think it's got to be a minimum of 3 touches on these things. But, and then consistency is going to be key. So if you can be consistent with your message and do it on a regular basis with a very simple group of people that you're offering value for their problem, I think you got a chance to really win.
There you go.
Yep. You definitely got a chance to really win with this stuff.
There you go. So you got the pre-foreclosure vacant properties. I really love that one because you can probably solve a couple issues. Maybe they obviously need to put a tenant in there, so you could come from that solution standpoint,
right?
Build a relationship for life. But you said something earlier too, or in a previous podcast, people with high equity, long-term homeowners, you can also reach out to them because maybe they're dealing with something or they got something coming up.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then you got stuff like code violations, delinquent taxes, expired listings, properties that canceled their listings. All of those I think are huge.
And as we said before, right, the industry is changing and really impacted agents. But the smart agents, they're just not sitting back waiting for listings. They're going out to find these motivated sellers.
Yeah. Start working the data. It's available. I mean, the companies are building this stuff for a reason. So if you're not using it, go figure it out, knock it out, and try to make it happen.
Yep. So how would you market, Dan? Okay, so you got a distressed property. What are you saying in that mailer to create some sense of urgency?
Yeah.
Or how are you marketing to these distressed sellers?
Yeah, I think like if it was like a pre-foreclosure situation, I would say to them, sell your home now for cash, avoid foreclosure.
Yeah, hit them.
Right, because that word is coming across to them. They're seeing it. They're like, whoa, I'm like facing foreclosure. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so just tell them, be like, I can help you avoid foreclosure and capture the equity you do have. Let's get you the most of that equity that you possibly can.
Yep.
And I think those are awesome leads. You can just hammer those things and you're helping people. Like they don't like it. It's not a great situation for them, but they need help.
Yeah,
Someone's got to help them. You got to jump in and help.
No, I love that one. Help them avoid the situation. Some people think they're in a worse situation than they really are.
Yeah,
they really do sometimes, and you can have solutions for them.
Yeah, people forget all the time. They're like they don't have the cash to make their mortgage payment, but they've got a ton of equity in their home.
Yep.
Right. Those are all the time going on out there. And if you start looking at some of these, pre-foreclosure lists, like that's what you're going to find is that a lot of times these guys bought this property 5 or 6 years ago. They've got a bunch of equity, but they lost their job or something, got into super debt, and don't have the cash to make the mortgage payments. They're about to lose their home and all the equity as a result. You can go in and help them save all that equity and probably wipe out all of their financial distress too, right? So go in there and save those people. Like that's a huge list. Go nail it.
By the way, the opportunities now, because distressed properties are one of the largest or biggest untapped sources right now. With all these changes happening to the industry, why not be the first to just tap into this? Right. So listeners, We're telling you, are you listening? Distressed properties are one of the biggest untapped listening sources right now.
Yep.
Go out there and get them.
Hammer it.
Yeah, hammer it.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.